happy day. The first word is contention, which is a noun. Contention means angry disagreement or argument. For example, there's always been contention between two rivals. There's also a phrasal verb, come to contention, which means to start arguing or disagreeing. The next word is long-standing, which is an adjective. Long-standing means continuing for a long time. It's usually used to describe an argument or a problem that has existed for a long time. For example, there's a long-standing problem with people littering in this park. Moving on to stun, which is a verb. To stun means to shock or surprise someone so much that they become unable to think clearly. In the story, Will Smith was stunned by something Chris Rock said. He was so shocked by it that he stood up and walked onto the stage and slapped him. We can also use stun to describe how we feel. I was stunned by how beautiful the view was when I reached the top of the mountain. The next word is spectacle, which is a noun. A spectacle is something that you see. It's often used to describe something unusual or shocking that people stop and stare at. The fireworks display was a spectacular celebration of the country's Independence Day. Another meaning of spectacle is that it can describe an event or a situation that is very exciting but not very meaningful. For example, the Oscar ceremony is full of political posturing and backstabbing, but it's all just part of the spectacle. Now looking at the adjective comparable, which means able to be compared. Something that is comparable is similar enough to something else that it can be used for comparison. For example, the new iPhone is comparable in size and weight to the previous model. Now looking at the verb to enroll, which is similar to the word enrollment. Enroll means to officially enter into a school, university, or training course. For example, every year thousands of students enroll at my university. We can also use enroll to mean to join or to register for something. For example, I'd like to enroll in the gym, but it's a little too expensive. The next word is optical, which is an adjective. Optical describes anything related to the sense of sight. An optical illusion, for example, is something that tricks your eyes into seeing something that isn't really there. Looking at another adjective now, cooperative, which means willing to work with others. If someone is cooperative, they are helpful and pleasant to work with. My boss was very cooperative and understanding when I needed to take some time off work to visit Spain. The next word is embody, which is a verb. To embody means to represent something or to be the perfect example of something. For example, the Statue of Liberty embodies freedom and democracy. The next word is lawn, which is a noun. A lawn is the grassy area in front of a house. It's usually well kept and mowed regularly. When I lived in the countryside, I loved playing football with my friends on the big open lawn in front of our house. The next word is exile, which is a noun. Exile means being forced to leave your own country, usually for political reasons. Napoleon was exiled to the island of St. Helena, where he spent his final years in captivity. You can also use exile to describe the state of being far away from home and not belonging anywhere. For example, after the divorce, she felt like an exile in her own city, unable to find any happiness or comfort. Now looking at another adjective, forthcoming, which means due to happen soon. It's often used to describe events that we're waiting for. For example, I'm looking forward to the forthcoming holiday, which means I'm looking forward to the holiday that's going to happen soon. Forthcoming can also mean willing to give information or help. For example, he is a forthcoming and helpful person, which means he is willing to give information and help when needed. The next word is revival, which is a noun. Revival means the act of making something better or bringing it back to life. After years of decline, there's been a revival in the popularity of vinyl records. Moving on to another noun, configuration, which is a noun. Configuration describes the way that something is arranged or set up. For example, the configuration of the solar panels on the roof has been changed to improve efficiency. The next word is rental, which is a noun. A rental is something that you pay to use for a period of time. It's often used to describe cars, bicycles, movies, or accommodation. For example, renting a car is much cheaper than buying one. So these words are meant to help you better understand what native speakers say and write.